feel worthless.
I just can't handle it all.
I feel like a stranger in my own family.
We do life better together. It's Mental Health Monday with Elerrina.
Oh, we do life better together. And joining myself and Jodie this morning to chat all things mental health is one of my favourite peeps. I have not made that a secret. It is author, podcast host and motivational speaker, Andrew Jobling. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. How are you?
We're
now
very
we've spoken
great.
to you.
Well, it's Mental Health Monday, so you've got to be fired up, positive, excited.
Ready to
on
go.
fire.
Ready to
Ready to
take
rock and
on
roll.
what we're chatting about today, which I really actually love what we are chatting about today.
What are we chatting about today?
We are chatting about how to win the day and I guess creating long-term change. So
Yes,
give us a bit of insight, AJ.
I will. EM, absolutely. Win the day. Well, there's a quote, and this is a really, really old quote, and I love it. It was by a guy called, I think it's Lao Tzu. I don't know, I might be corrected here. He was a Chinese philosopher thousands of years ago, and this is what he said. He said, if you're depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future.
Yeah.
If you're peaceful, you're living in the present.
So true. It is so true.
And I think before I say any more, I think it's worth just spending a little bit of time there, because don't we spend so much time stressing about all the things we did wrong, didn't do, should have done, haven't done, the things we said that we regret, we spend so much time in our past beating ourselves up that it leads us into a really dark place.
Oh, it does. I don't know what the word is that I need because it's not beated, but I beated myself up over the weekend over something I did last week. And it doesn't bring anything of substance or of help.
Well, we can't change the past.
No.
All we can do is learn from it, but we've got to forgive and move on. Okay, so past is nowhere to live. Learn from it, get out of there real fast. The future, well, who knows what the future is going to bring? So again, why do we spend so much time worrying about what tomorrow's going to bring and what's going to happen and who's going to say what and is this going to eventuate, not eventuate? And that's where anxiety lives. And so we don't want to be depressed and we don't want to be anxious. We want to be peaceful, happy, loving life, right? And this is Mental Health Monday, and I'd like to rebrand mental health, and I want to call it mind wellness. Are you cool with that? Because I think there's a real stigma around mental health, and every single person is on the spectrum, the mind wellness spectrum at some point, okay? We all have some, and I put my hand up, I have some level of anxiety, and I find myself worrying about stuff that I don't know if it's going to happen or not, and it's just crazy. When I take control of the only moment I have, which is right now, it is incredible how things change. And I think the first, win the day just simply means take control of the moment that you have.
Yeah.
The past is gone, you can't change it, no control. The future's out there somewhere, can't control it. Well, the only way you can potentially have some influence over your future is by what you do right now. And so that's a really powerful, if you can own that, that's going to make a difference in your life straight away. Now, in terms of creating long-term change, in terms of if you want to be leaner, fitter, healthier, happier, do you want to write a book? Do you want to run a marathon? Do you want to be an athlete? Do you want to have a great marriage relationship? Do you want to be successful in your career? Do you want to make more money, retire young, live on a beach somewhere?
Yeah, I do want all that.
Doesn't want
Do I
that?
hear a hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
And I think we all want that. But the mistake we make is thinking that takes talent and intellect and ability and willpower. And I will tell you from personal experience, I did not play professional sport for 7 years because of any of those things. I'm not an author today because of talent or luck or circumstance. I'll tell you, I'm an author today, and at the age of 56, I'm incredibly proud of my health and well-being at this age. The fact I play professional sports got to do with one thing and one thing only, and that is creating the right routines in life, creating the right unconscious habits.
Well, talent is obviously important, but it's only going to take you so far if you don't do anything to, I guess, harness that and work towards your craft.
Well, talent's useless if you don't apply effort.
Yeah.
Okay. And whilst we're all born with a natural talent, we can increase our skill level by work. By repetition, by improvement, by practice. And so the message that I want to really get out there this morning, girls, is that I just want people to stop beating themselves up, saying, I'm not good enough, I can't do it, I'm not smart enough, talented enough. That's got nothing to do with it. I'll tell you what it's all about, is about habit. The reason I'm about to publish my 8th book now is not because I'm talented, it's because I have an unconscious habit. I write every single day. It's now what I do. It's now who I am. The reason I'm lean and healthy at the age of 56 is not genetics. It's not luck. It's not because I played professional sports, because I create the habit of exercise every day. I eat breakfast every day. I don't think about it anymore. I don't debate about it. I don't negotiate it. I just
do it.
So the question then is, how do you take some of these really annoying little habit things, like exercise can be annoying, eating breakfast can be annoying, writing can be annoying, apologising can be incredibly annoying, and all these things, how do you take them from an annoying action and turn it into an unconscious habit like brushing your teeth? It takes 63 days. And the neuroscience now, and I'm going to get really neuroscientific on you guys, this is about as scientific as I can ever possibly get. But the neuroscience is saying it takes at least 63 days of consistent focus on a behaviour or an action to turn it into a strong neural pathway in your brain. In other words, an unconscious habit.
When did that change? Because I was always under the impression it was 28 days.
Well, it was 21 days has been the common thing, but there's no science behind that. And now there's science behind this now. And they've studied the brain and the pathways in the brain. And every time, if you think about this, if you go bushbashing, right, you walk through a bush, there's no path, you walk through it the first time, it's really hard work and you're cutting down trees and you're knocking things out of the way. If you keep walking that same path over and over and over again, it's going to turn into a path, right?
Right.
And that's the same as a thought or an action. So every day I get up and I eat breakfast. The first time I do it, it's hard. It's like smashing through the bush. But I do it, and that creates a very little path. And if every single day I focus and focus and focus, after 63 days, I've got this beautiful path that's there. It's well-worn path, and every morning I get up and I just walk that path, right? So 63 days. So now that seems like a lot. It's not. Well, I mean, in the context of our life, 63 days is nothing. However, I know for me, I can't focus for 63 days. I mean, wow, that seems like way too far off. I can't focus for 41. Even 21 days for me is like too much. I can't even focus for 1 week. But what I can focus on is, guess what?
Today.
Yeah. I know if I've got to get up and exercise, I can do it. Even if I don't feel like it, I can get up and go for a run today or a walk or whatever it might be. And I'll tell you what, as soon as I've done it, I always feel amazing. Sometimes I don't feel like eating breakfast, but these days I just find myself doing it. But initially get up and just eat breakfast.
Yeah,
I do my writing in the morning. Now, so the key, and I think maybe when we come back, and I'll give a few hints on how do you survive 63 days, how do you get through 63 days and take one or two really simple actions and turn them into strong neural pathways in your brain, because that's what permanent change is. And I think probably for a lot of people listening, if they've got that anxiety or they've got stress or they've got doubt or they've got lack of self-belief, one of the actions that I would recommend they focus on for 63 days is an affirmation that I am good enough, and start to believe that they're actually good enough. And as soon as you can start to really believe in yourself, then, anything's possible.
Exactly. We do have to go to a song, AJ, but are you cool to stick around so we can hear more from you after this?
Love to.
Wonderful. We'll be back for Mental Health Monday right up after the Chainsmokers with Andrew Jobling on Good Taste Brekkie. This is Good Taste Brekkie on Juice 107.3. Elerrina and Jodie here with you this morning. And if you've just joined us, we are in the middle of chatting to our fave author, podcast host and motivational speaker for Mental Health Monday, Andrew Jobling. saying. Now, Andrew, just before that song, we were talking about how it takes 63 days to create habit. But how do we actually do that where it doesn't end up turning into a burden, but it can positively impact our life?
Well, I think the first thing, Elerrina and Jodie, is this, that it is going to be annoying. It is going to be a bit of a burden to start with because any change is not comfortable. Trying to create any change, you've got to accept the fact. I think first thing is accept the fact for a period of time, it's going to be a little bit inconvenient, a little bit uncomfortable, okay? But you've got to think, here's the first and most important thing, you've got to focus beyond that discomfort and imagine when eating breakfast is just what you do. Imagine when exercise is you just wake up and before your even eyes are really open, you're out the door running.
If only.
Well, it's interesting. Like, I wake up 5:30 every morning, and I train. And it's interesting because most mornings my alarm goes off. The last thing I want to do is get out of bed. But before I even know it, I'm out. I'm up. I'm doing it. I'm going, oh, cool. How did I get here? Because it's like that, when you drive home from work and you've been off from somewhere, you've done it every day for years, and you end up pulling into your driveway.
How did I get here?
I can't remember the drive home.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's your neural pathway. That's that unconscious rhythm routine. It's like, how many times do you find yourself brushing your teeth and standing in front of the mirror? You can't remember walking into the bathroom. You can't remember undoing the cap on the toothpaste. You can't remember putting it on the brush. You can't remember putting your toothbrush in your mouth, but there you are brushing your teeth. Why? Again, same thing. However, go and ask your parents how hard it was for them to get you to brush your teeth. They'll tell you you're a pain in the backside, right? For a period of time. So the first thing is we must expect for a period of time it's going to be uncomfortable, it's going to be inconvenient. However, when you focus on how good you will feel when it becomes an unconscious habit, just what you do, that's the first step. Get really, really, really clear on how it's going to look and how it's going to feel.
Yeah, and do you know what? I actually read something this morning, and I think that this ties in beautifully with what you're saying. I read something that said discipline is the strongest form of self-love. It's ignoring current pleasures for bigger rewards to come. So I guess that's doing that. Like your current pleasure would be like staying in bed longer, but the bigger reward to come would be the rewards that you get for getting up and exercising every day.
Absolutely. I mean, the things that motivate us are we're either trying to avoid pain or gain pleasure. They're the two things that, and there's either we avoid or we go for short-term pleasure, but often that leads to long-term pain. But when we go, okay, no, I'm going to go for a little bit of short-term discomfort, but it's going to lead us to exactly what you're saying, that long-term, you're going to be healthy. You're not going to have to worry about your health if you create the right habits now. You're going to have money in the bank if you create a habit of saving every day. You're going to have strong, beautiful relationships if you create the habit of complimenting and praising now. Do it now. So the first thing is focus beyond the discomfort. Focus to day 64 and think about, wow, when I get to day 64 and this is an unconscious habit, it's going to be the best. The next thing is really just decide on one or two things only, because the second we try and change 10 things, overwhelm hits and we never last. One, maybe two, maximum 3 things. It might be send a complimentary message to your partner every day. It might be I'm going to do 10,000 steps a day. It might be if you're writing a book, I'm going to write 300 words a day. Something so almost insignificant that seems like it wouldn't matter if you didn't do it. Okay?
Yeah.
So you can look at it, wow, I can do that. That's easy. That's step number 2. Step number 3 is I think it's always worthwhile finding an accountability partner, someone who you can check in with. And there's a really cool app called Habit Share. It's an app where you can track your habits and you can actually share it with someone.
Really?
So you can work with a partner. You can share habits and they can see if you're doing it every day. You tick the box and you can share. And I think it's called Habit Share. It's an awesome app. The final and the most important thing is win the day.
Yes.
So win the day just means I'm not going to ever get to day 63 if I don't win today.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the most important day is not day 63 when I've done it. The most important day is today because it's the only day I'm in control of. And so every single day, I tell you what, I'm dancing around my house all day, every day, because I'm ticking boxes, winning the day. Like, as soon as I've done my exercise, I do a little happy dance and I celebrate because I've done it today, because today is all that matters. So every day I write, I tick a box, I celebrate. Every day I eat my breakfast, I go, woohoo! And I celebrate it, because if I can't celebrate the journey, I will never get to the destination.
Yeah, I love that.
Today, focus on this day. This is the only day. And guess what happens at midnight?
You get to start all over again.
We get a new today.
Yeah.
And so the only day you ever need to win is this one, forever.
Yeah.
No matter what you're working towards, no matter what you're aspiring to, no matter what you're trying to create, the only day you're in control of is today. And if you win the day, everything else will predictably happen in your life. You'll be happy, you'll be healthy, you'll be wealthy, you'll be in beautiful relationships. Everything works if you can just focus on winning the day. And that is my greatest desire, that everyone listening to this will go forth and win this wonderful day.
I love it so much. We do have to say goodbye, Andrew Jobling. But before we do, if people want to get in touch with you, how can they?
They can just wind down the window and yell
out.
really loud, Andrew, can you contact me?
Oh, awesome.
Or if that doesn't work, they can go to my website, which is andrewjobling.com.au.
Try the first one first, though. I want to see that happening. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us this morning. Your insight is always amazing.
Thanks, girls.
You're
thanks,
so
Andrew.
welcome.
Thanks, Jodie. Thanks, Elerrina.
No worries. This is Good Taste Brekkie.